Hello everybody and welcome back to the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations walkthrough. It is time to begin the second day of investigation for Recipe for Turnabout, and it got very out of hand in court back there, and yeah, it's just everything is completely confused right now because Kudos was not a reliable witness because he didn't even see who the waitress was, and just everything is all up in the air. With that said, that gives us an out because it means that there is no positive identification on Maggie being the one to lace the coffee. So this means that we should hopefully be able to prove her innocence once we've, actually researched what the hell's going on a little bit further, because we need to get to the bottom of this. But yeah, Zingyop, our doppelganger, this fella here who was like proper nutso. Like, you've got to be kidding us, like. He was, like, totally not like us at all. So, yeah, like, how he managed to get away with pretending to be us is beyond me. Other than, the hair, very similar hair. But, that doesn't quite answer everything, really, does it? But the accent, the orange skin, nothing makes him out to be us, really. And, something is going incredibly wrong here, it seems. But, nobody's going to talk to us right now, so let's just head to the detention centre and see how Maggie's feeling. I mean, we've managed to... Oh, she's still not here yet. Typical. But yeah, would have liked to have seen how she thought we did. I mean, we've done better than what happened last time, so that's certainly a positive sign. But we're not out of the woods yet. And, oh, look, it's Gumshoe! Oh. I think he was playing the lottery! Have to say, doing the lottery is quite fun. Obviously it costs money, and that is generally a waste of time, because you spend God knows how much and generally get very little in return. However, that said, I've won a little bit on lottery. I think the max I've ever won is like 25 quid. But it's still like, when you win, it's just like, oh yes, success! But yeah, lotteries are difficult, and obviously entirely luck-based, so it's just one of those things, really, isn't it? But yeah, Maggie was not impressed with Gumshoe. Poor guy. Oh, I feel so sorry for him. Because it is one of those things where, at the end of the day, he was just doing his job. And annoyingly, in terms of the detective work, there didn't seem to be that many holes in his testimony. I suspect... Well, I don't know. it's a difficult one because you would have thought there would have been some evidence that would have proved that Maggie couldn't have done it, but ultimately everything did point to her. Apart from the whole... Well, I think the biggest hole in the testimonies that we've had presented to us is that Maggie fainted upon seeing Glenn Elg die, which in my mind would say, well, she wouldn't have then had time to steal the winning lottery ticket, especially not before John Armstrong got there in the first place. So that's quite a big actual hole that they seem to have missed in the whole grand scheme of things, because you would have thought, like, if she really had committed the murder, why would she... Well, one, why would she faint? Because if you're going to murder someone, you do it and you get the hell out of there. Or you don't hide the murder weapon in your front pocket of your apron. That's just stupid. And it's the same with the lottery ticket that you've just nicked. And why you committed murder. It just, that doesn't make sense at all. And that's probably the easiest Cyclock we have ever had to take down. Like, so ridiculously easy. But yeah, 50p wins a bit insulting. But oh well, these things happen. But thankfully, the fact that Gumshoe was playing the Millionaire radio is probably going to help us out quite a lot, I feel. Because obviously Glenn Elg was listening to it, and so it's important. I don't think I actually ended up doing much with Glenn Elg in the previous parts, just because I have no idea why. But so his Japanese name is Tako Oka, and his French name is Mark Ram. So what's quite fitting is that Glenn Elg's name is a palindrome, and it is actually a palindrome in every single language apart from the romanization of the Japanese. The Japanese name is a palindrome when it's spelled out in kana. So, a palindrome, for those of you who aren't aware, you should be, it's pretty common, is where a name reads the same, well, a word reads the same forward as it does backwards. And as we will actually find out at Blue Screen Inc. here, everybody's names are palindromes, which is quite nice. So the other little bits to do with Glen Elg are that Glen Elg is a place name in various parts of the world, with the name itself usually coming from either Charles Grant, the first Baron of Glen Elg, or the Scottish village with the same name. There's also the whole thing with his French name of Mark Ram, most likely being a reference to RAM, you know, computers, so random access memory, as well as, you know, it making it a palindrome, which is quite nice. And right here we've met the person who runs Blue Screens Inc. I mean, it's a bit of a daft name for a computer firm. I don't think I would go anywhere near a computer firm that has a name, is named after the thing that you never want to happen to your computer. Because you really do not want this happening to your computer. Because it's just not fun at all. Because it breaks and then you're terrified. Now, here we have Apple Lisa. Apple Lisa? My god, Lisa Basil. I'm getting ahead of myself in what I want to talk about. So, her Japanese name is Keiko Koike, and her name in all other languages is Lisa Basil. Her English given name may in fact actually be a reference to Apple Lisa, which was a very early personal computer. And what's really quite fun is that Blue Screens Inc. and Lisa Basil and everything going on here actually makes quite a few pop culture references, which is really nice. So, on first meeting Lisa, Nick is surprised that she's a human, obviously because of the way she looks, and he comments that she looks more like a ghost in a shell, which is obviously a direct reference to Ghost in the Shell. And in actual fact, Lisa Basil superficially resembled Motoko Kusanagi, aka the Major, who is the cyborg protagonist of that franchise. And obviously, considering how influential Ghost in the Shell was to anime and quite a lot of sci-fi pop culture across the globe, really, it makes sense that they went with that. And also, if you look at the HMDs that they're wearing, very, very clearly bearing a superficial resemblance to the scouter devices worn by characters throughout the Dragon Ball franchise. So I'm very surprised that they didn't actually go for it's over 9,000 joke in here, because I mean that would be fun and make sense, but they just didn't decide to go with that one. They did, however, include a really, really fun little Easter egg with Lisa Basil, where if you present any sort of irrelevant evidence, she will come out with this. So yes, it's a very timely timely reference to the movie 300. But also, because it's Sparda, it's a reference to the Devil May Cry series, where Sparda's the name of the father of Dante. And what's actually quite nice is that in Turnabout Reclaimed, which turns up, well, it's a DLC case in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, which is quite cute because it sees Pearl reappear, which is glorious. He asks, well, you question a character called Herman Crab about his data organisation system, and he says that it's called Torpedo, which stood for Tele-Observation Real-Time Pertinent Data Organizer. And Nick wonders to himself whether it was Super Admin Restricted Desktop Access Pass Protected. So that's a nice little callback that they went with in Dual Destinies. But I always find it just quite a fun little reference there. And oh! Armstrong's talking to someone. This is very suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Oh joy, we have a pyromaniac. And she's wearing black, and she's got a red ribbon. She's clearly evil. Or at least on the side of the bad guys right now, I feel. And also she's saying driving a knife into his heart. Definitely a bad person. And she's also a cannibal. Lovely. Well. Oh, no. Oh, no. Need to, just bleach that from my memory. Thank God we didn't actually see any of it, but, oh, good lord. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But, yes. We now see that Armstrong's really got a problem. And I think this really is going to start to implicate him in the crime. Because he's clearly under the thumb of whoever that woman was just now. But I don't know whether he's going to actually dish the goss at all. So, yeah, it is very clear what type of conversation they were having, and we have just the evidence to prove it. We have his loan contract. And, yes. So, it was clearly from the moneylenders. And, ooh. He's admitting to something, but he cannot tell us what it is. But I think that, pretty much, implicates him in the crime, because he's clearly implying that they asked him to do something to do with that. There was no other thing that they would ask him to help out with, I would feel. That he would refuse to tell us, because otherwise, well, we'd be able to get him done, really, if he told us. But there we go. Tender lender. Which sounds lovely, but clearly is anything but. So, with tender lender, obviously its name has a double meaning. So, lender's clearly straightforward, they lend money, but you've got tender, because you've got, well, most meanings applicable to this loan company are gentle, which is obviously kind of ironic, because I don't think they're anything like gentle, and also to offer or present something formally, as in legal tender. So it could be seen as a gentle lender or offering to lend money. There is actually also an extra meaning in this, because obviously that mysterious woman was talking about raw meat, and you say that like meat is tender, and that it's kind of, It's tender. You get what I mean. Its French name is Sadouille Crédit, or Credit, which is based on douiller, which means both to pay and suffer, very fitting. The German name is Net Credit, which is nice loan. The Spanish name is El Buen Prestamista, which is the good lender. And the Italian name is Prestiti Felini, which is feline lender, which makes perhaps the least sense, but actually no, it does sort of make sense considering what a certain person has on their shirt. And of course we will try and give that to Maggie. Whether she'll take it from us is a different kettle of fish altogether, but we'll do our best for you, Gumshoe, because I feel bad because we couldn't find any holes in your testimony, but then again, that's your fault for doing your job too well, which isn't normally the case. But anyway, we've got a few leads, so let's continue our investigation.